Welcome to SFN, your preeminent source for space and defense news and all things tangentially related. We're your hosts, loyal to the foil here at Houston, Mission Control. And we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit. And we're here live every Sunday night.
Space Treats, here we are, Sunday night. Episode number, I don't know tonight. But I know it's Sunday night. I know that much, which is great news, right? Well, that means I'm winning.
Yeah. I'm tripping. Why am I hearing the intro? I'm open somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm blaming you. I'm all in the chat.
I knew. Yeah, that's why I ignored you. Yeah, I knew. Totally knew. So what's going on? Gary Flessner, my bodyguard, Woke One, Desert Fire, Morning Flower Stacks. I see Morning Flower on 2 different platforms. Divine Fractal, Mike Holt, Doug Poland. Why did I say that twice? I don't know. Michael Perkins, Rainbow Snuggle. I'm glitching out today, man. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, here we are, Sunday night Space Force News. Hello, Mom. Good to see ya. Can't wait to see you next week. So excited for that. What are we like? We're like a week away, aren't we? I need to talk to you, by the way. That reminds me. So I got to get a hold of you before you leave. So HRM Weapons Machinist, good to see you. Christina Fisher, frightening me. Chesed, Roxy Boxy, 101. Daisy Girly, is that 111? Yeah, that's 111. No, that's 1111. There's 4 ones, so that's not 111. Am I entertaining you today, Foil?
Oh, yes.
Do I amuse you? That's cool.
Yes.
Hey, I aim to please.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
I aim to please. Mel Tulip, good to see you. Good to see all you guys. Yeah, man, here we go. Sunday night Space Force News. We have changed things around just a little bit. We're kind of adapting to the climate that we're in right now. So we're going to be focusing more on certain subjects and focusing less on others because there just isn't much going on with certain topics at the moment, right? So
there will be at some point.
There will be at some point, but until then,
right?
We're gonna kind of refocus our efforts a little bit. So I think tonight it would be really good to start with a little comedy. What do you think, Foil?
I'm always down for the funny, man.
And I would say that this video it says so much that why not play it? You know what I mean? It's been floating around for a minute. Let's go ahead and play it for everybody. Hey, Sean Joe, thank you for the cookie. Really appreciate it. All right, here we go.
Aw, what up, fam? Thanks.
Because why not?
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1.
You believe this guy?
We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurman and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years.
Heartless.
Oh, God.
You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
Unbelievable.
Under our forfeiture statutes, the government can, take everything you own. Everything from your car to your house, your bank account, not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you've just got caught engaging in. They can take everything.
It's a reckless disregard for human life.
I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society.
He's coming for them.
Try to help them. Try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it. But they are in jail. Away from my mother, your husband, our family.
Mr. President, words matter.
So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
Heartless.
So how do you say his name? Kanoka or Kane Koa the Great?
No, Kenyoka?
Kenyoka? Well, it could be either all three. Who knows? We don't know which one it is, but we know one of them's probably correct. So, yeah, shout out to him for the
Something's gotta be right.
compilation. We hope.
Right? Crack is whack, in case you didn't know.
5 years. Yeah, I just think that is just the greatest. It says so much. You know how when memes
The policy switch on that guy is
right. How
phenomenal.
memes speak volumes. That would be one of them for sure. All right, so what are we doing tonight? We're doing Space Force news, right? Is that what we're doing tonight, Foyle?
I guess so.
All right, let me figure out what we're going into here today, guys. Looks like the Dems are seeking to abolish the Space Force. Good luck with that. It's not going to work out for them. Hi, Amy Jo. Good to see ya. Yes, crack is whack, guys. You got it. We got some Space Force uniforms, and they're rather, they're cool, man. The dress uniforms, right? They're very Battlestar Galactica. So we'll be checking those out. We got China warplanes near Taiwan, Latin America turning to China. China no first you policies, some stuff going on with that. Biden hosts the Indo-Pacific leaders. We have the triggering of lucid dreams. They have now figured out a way, they think, to trigger lucid dreams, right? Ooh. That's super cool because I don't have those. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to have those lucid dreams. We got a Martian earthquake, guys, living pharmacy, Project Defuse, which Foyle will be discussing with us, supersized farm animals.
Man.
Yes, man. Man, when you sent me that article, I was like, what?
Them cows and pigs look like they're about to whoop somebody's ass.
That is so wrong, man. On so many levels. Reason. Everything they do is wrong. All right. We have flying microchips, which, guess, guys, being used for population surveillance. Like, we need more of that. We need more of that in life, right? Lithuania urges to ditch your Chinese phones. We didn't understand that's probably a good idea on our own, did we? We hadn't arrived at that conclusion yet.
Man.
Right?
Huawei is bad. Man,
creepy childlike robots, like as if the robots couldn't get any creepier. Oh, yeah, there was a really funny video that I found that I wanted to play, and I totally forgot about. I'll have to play it next show. It was really funny. Yeah, creepy childlike robots, dude. As if like the priest and the Jesus.
Hans wasn't bad enough.
And Hans wasn't creepy enough, right? That we need that. So
Hans
we have guys, we have a crypto trading hamster.
Oh,
and
he's
yes,
the bomb
friends,
too, man.
He is doing better than one would think. So we'll be definitely covering the crypto trading hamster. Definitely.
Gotta talk about the hamster, man.
We have to talk about the hamster. So yeah, man. Craziness, Foyle. Bruh. Craziness.
World
everywhere you look.
Mad Hatter all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so on that note, let's go ahead and jump into it, Foyle. What do you say?
I'm with it.
Space Force.
Man, those farm animals just, I'm glad I don't have to cover that article. I'm going to get triggered by that. You like the flannel on the back of my chair?
Very redneck posh. I love it. Rednecks should be in space, man. I'm convinced. They're going to save the world. That doesn't
really sound cool, though. Space neck. But it's weird. Me and my ship with the flannel hanging on my chair. I was going to get rid of it, and then I was like, man, if you really look at the whole ensemble tonight, it almost kind of works in some strange...
Pulls it all together.
Right. I was like, you never know. I might need it because it's getting so cool in here. It's only like 92 degrees in my studio. I might need it.
Practically freezing.
Yeah, you never know. I might need it. Space Force abolished. House bill would do just that.
Imagine that.
A group of House Democrats introduced a bill Wednesday to abolish the nation's newest armed service, eliminating the Space Force and giving the Air Force its responsibilities. Backed by 5 members of the House Progressive Caucus, which is composed of Democrats on the party's left wing, the No Militarization of Space Act was introduced as Congress debates its annual Pentagon policy bill. This is a frivolous bill that has no hope of passing, Lamborn said in an email. The creation of the Space Force was a bipartisan effort from the beginning. This reorganization of our national security space enterprise resulted from the belated recognition of space as a warfighting domain and the increasing threat to critical space assets posed by our near-peer competitors. The measure would have to gain traction to pass the House, where the Space Force has had support from both sides of the aisle. Even if the House backed it, the measure would face almost certain defeat in the Senate, where Democrats hold control by the narrowest of margins. The Space Service has had bipartisan backing. So essentially, guys, it's good luck with this. Space Force's top general said the service is working to prevent war from reaching orbit rather than fighting battles beyond Earth's atmosphere. I'm convinced that if we can protect our critical capabilities and deny an aggressor benefit or impose a cost they cannot bear, we may prevent war for extending to other domains. And there you have it, man. That's it. That's all your Space Force news, other than the uniforms. That's it, man. Yeah, you're gonna be bummed because I don't get to play your little King of Mars.
I know. We should just play it anyway, but that's all right.
We're not gonna play it anyways, but I appreciate that you want us to play it anyways. I appreciate that. So yeah, here's the uniforms, guys, and I think they're cool. I mean, they're very fancy looking, you know. They're very fancy looking. Well, check them out. You don't like them or what?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, they have clearly taken all of the iconography from all of the famous science fiction stuff and rolled it up into the Space Force. Like from the logo to the dress uniforms to, you know, the Guardians. Like they have literally, which I dig it. Like if I was going to make a military branch, I'd probably pull some stuff from science fiction stuff too. Makes perfect sense to me.
Why not?
Right?
Maybe our science fiction stuff pulled from our future.
Yeah, there's always
I'm just saying, you know.
Right?
Not to go full woo here, but you know, it is definitely a consideration and a possibility, I would say.
Clip, yes, you can donate on YouTube. Super chat should be open. Thank you for asking.
On YouTube, yeah. And Cash App and Venmo.
Or Cash App or Venmo.
Fool just needs to remind me to check the phone when the show ends. Can't keep track of the 1,000 different things I got to do here. Okay, so we're changing things around a little bit, guys. Foil's not doing all the defense anymore. Yes, Alara is doing some of the defense and some of the science and some of the tech. That's right. Taking on more responsibility and more reading. That means more highlighting for everybody. That means you get a lot more yellow in your life. Aren't you guys excited about that? I agree with you, Desert Fire. I think the outfits are cool. How come we don't get to see the bottom? They wearing pants? Of course they're wearing pants, right? Pants,
right?
Like mailman pants.
You said Battlestar Galactica, and now he's disappointed.
Why? Why is he disappointed?
It looks kind of like the Star Trek dress uniform, but there was also there were some side by sides.
That does not look like Star Trek, dude.
It does.
You think? Or
yes.
Did I just not remember right? Has it been that long since I watched Star Trek?
Well, no, Battlestar Galactica too.
I don't remember buttons going up the side all tilted like that. Did it?
Well, the tilt and stuff was the dress uniform. It just had like little, I don't know, looked like they had put, they bedazzled some shit on there. But
bedazzled.
I love when things.
I wish we
bedazzled.
could see the whole thing. Not just the.
Well, they had it in the articles, didn't we? Did we not pull any of the articles?
No, I think we did, but then we chucked it because it led to is Twitter, and this is what's on Twitter. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can always look. Here's
Twitter.
Some more. No, Twitter, right? Woo! Okay, what else? No, see, here's the article right here. Uniform unveiled for U.S. Space Force Guardians. See, and then you get led to. Oh, here's the uniforms for physical training. Check this out. These are physical training uniforms. Look at that snazzy outfit.
Looks like prison gear.
Designed for Guardians to be physically ready to protect U.S. and Allied interests in space.
It did!
Developed
Come on, man,
to
look at
withstand the most grueling physical regimens. Tested by an award-winning champion. I'm Lieutenant Mihaela Norris. I won at the collegiate level. Now, it's time to win for the Space Force. Train hard.
Thanks for the can, Belushi.
Train hard, man. There's your PT uniform. Look, that's all you get. You get that one, you get the dress one. There's no cool video to go with that one. I don't know where you thought you saw the long extended version, but it's I don't think it's in there. What? All right.
Nothing.
All right. Cloaked Unseen World coming with the cookie. Tell Rise Attire we need a Foxhole Force 1 uniform.
Ooh.
Foxhole Force 1 uniform. That's kind of a good idea, man. I'm digging it.
I think so. That's a great idea.
Due Diligence doesn't like the uniform. He doesn't think it looks right. Right? I mean, it has a
Golden
kind of
Chris says looks like a gym teacher.
It has kind of a pirate vibe to it. It does. It's kind of, I'd like to see the whole ensemble. I'd like to see the whole ensemble. Do the women have to wear nothing but pants? Or do they get like a long, sleek skirt that goes with that jacket? I mean, I'm thinking probably not. I guess Dew would probably know better than we would. But I'm thinking probably not. But, yeah, I'm totally feeling it, LA Addicts. I am feeling it. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. They couldn't directly copy Star Trek foil. That would be a little weird. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, okay, the old school Star Trek uniforms, where they were wearing the red with the band, it looks kind of like that, somewhat like Battlestar Galactica. Apparently, the women do have skirts, and
ooh,
yeah,
looky there. Due Diligence with the 404 gold pills. This is not an error message. Love you both. Oh, thank you,
thanks,
Dew. Appreciate it.
We love you too.
Sean Joe coming with the cookie. Thank you for the cookie, Sean Joe. And our Cloaked Unseen World gifted the cookie. Was part of the name of the uniform. The 1 foot and 5D was part of the name of the uniform. I don't really understand, but you can explain it to me at some point. Johnny B says it's gonna look like Buck Rogers in the 25th century, right? He's got a point. Definitely got a point there. Definitely got a point.
Yoga pants.
Right?
Yeah.
Yoga pants would, hey, that's more practical, right? Yoga pants?
Right? Who doesn't wear yoga pants?
That's why yoga pants caught on, and it's the thing now. I remember when. Don't say that, Alara. Just leave.
You gonna age yourself?
Huh?
Were you gonna age yourself?
Remember that conversation we were having earlier about you not having a filter, things just come out of your mouth?
Oh yes.
At least I have this other aspect of me in third person that's like, no, probably not a good idea. Just. You know what I mean? And I can embrace telling myself that in public, like out loud. No, let's not do that. Foil doesn't have that. If she says it, she doesn't know what's going to come out of her mouth at all.
Ever.
Right? That's what we like about you, Foil. I never know what's going to come out of your mouth. Ever. Carrie Lake gifted the cookie. Thank you, Carrie Lake, so much. Hey, Grouch, good to see you. Pilled by the Rabbit. Yeah, it's like a, Woke One says it's like a mix of Red Star Trek and the Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I'm all right with that, though.
I don't know.
All
right, so let's take a, what do you call it?
All right, Alara?
Yeah. What?
Let's take a deep breath. Good luck. I wish you the best of luck with the defense section.
Oh, man. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you dig the new Space Force uniform. 2 if you're totally not feeling it. Please, let's see how everybody feels about this. Capable says, did you hear that the House Dems have a bill that ends Space Force? Yes, Capable. We talked about that a couple minutes ago at the very beginning of the show. We don't think that's going to work out for them, though. They would need... it's not going to work out. Due Diligence. Under usual circumstances, most women in dress uniform have skirts with proper fitted blouses. They do? Guess so. Shows what I know, right? But you don't have to wear them, right? Because I would be in big trouble if I had to wear dresses every day at work. That wouldn't work out well. See, most people dig it. I'm getting 1s, 3. What does the 3 mean, PJ? Cloaked Dancing World. Tell Rise Attire we need a foxhole uniform, naming it after me. Oh, my. Oh, my. Do we really need that? Do we need that for sure? That's
Space
funny.
Force 1 foot and 5D.
That's very
uniform.
Funny, Belushi. That's very funny. Yep. God, I love our chat. It's always so interesting. So I've got like every number from 1 to 100. So I'm really confused as to whether you guys not like these uniforms or not. So, and Foil, thank you for wishing me good luck with defense. Because guess what? Time it is. See, Amy agrees with me. No skirts, no way. They better have a pants option, or we're gonna have a real problem. Old dog, get Brooks Agnew back on. Loved it when he was on with you too. Thank you for the super chat. And yes, we will have to do that sometime very soon. Not a dress, just a skirt. Well, that's even better, dude. Like, because I rock skirts all the time. You know what I mean? Golden Chris says a tracksuit. Yeah, we need a tracksuit.
Tracksuit.
We need a Space Force.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we need like a Tony Soprano tracksuit, though.
Right, with the Space Force logo.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd rock
This is
that,
why they don't put
right?
me in charge of stuff like this, right? This is for sure why they don't put me in charge of stuff like this. So, okay, Foil thinks I'm going to go down in flames with the defense section, and I think I'm going to rock it. We'll see what you guys think. We'll take a poll when this is all done. My mom says a skort. Yes, Mom, I know you're fond of skorts. But unfortunately, skorts are not a solution for girls that don't like to wear skirts. It still feels like you're wearing a skirt. So, you know, skorts are not the option for me. But hey, if you can rock them, that's awesome, right? God bless all the women that can rock skorts. All right, we were supposed to be moving on to defense, weren't we here? Thank you, Belushi, for the cookie. And I think our Cloak Doesn't See World with Cookie put a Q on the Space Force new uniform. Whoops, gotta mute that. All right, on the new uniform, then every one of us in chat would love it. Woo! I'm really lost at what this shirt design is going to look like when it's complete. It's going to have a Q, and it's going to have my name and some Space Force stuff, and I'm confused how it's going to look. But I'd love to see the prototype. I'm down. I'd like to see the prototype. All right. China sends warplanes near Taiwan as it's already hot in here. China sends warplanes near Taiwan as both move to join Pacific trade deal. China is an arch criminal intent on bullying Taiwan and has no right to oppose or comment on its bid to join a Pan-Pacific trade pact. Taiwan, a self-ruling island that Beijing claims as its territory, said on Wednesday it had formally applied to join the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, less than a week after China submitted its application. China's foreign ministry said it opposed Taiwan entering into any official treaty or organization, and on Thursday, Taiwan and China had sent 24 military aircraft into the island's air defense zone, part of what Taipei says is an almost daily pattern of harassment. China is not a member of the trade pact, and its trade system has been widely questioned globally for not meeting the high standards of the bloc. China sent its air force to menace Taiwan shortly after the application announcement. The original 12-member agreement, known as the Trans-Pacific Partnership, was seen as an important economic counterweight to China's growing influence, but the agreement was thrown into limbo in early 2017 when then U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew the United States. Woo, one down, right?
This is one of the biggest economic trading blocks out there. The problem is that when Taiwan applied, like, were they to be, China insists on this one China policy that the world recognize directly and indirectly, that Taiwan is a member, is actually just a subsidiary of the overarching Chinese government, right? So this really pissed them off. I mean, this could be a breaking point for these people should Taiwan's application be accepted. It could really be a powder keg in the region.
See, you get me reading, and then you get Foil's commentary. So we're completely winning here for the defense section. This is where you get my highlighting, my reading, and
gotta have the highlighting.
Foil's brilliant political defense commentary. So everything's gonna work out just fine. This is fine. So
this is fine.
Totally fine. U.S. friends in Latin America are turning to China. The U.S. is losing Latin America to China without putting up a fight, Ecuador's ambassador to Washington told Axios, laying bare her frustrations with early inattention from the Biden administration. Ecuador isn't alone. China has deepened its engagement in the region, and it's now the top trading partner for many of the region's largest economies. That gives Beijing considerable leverage in a region historically dominated by the U.S. and makes Latin America a major frontier in the global competition for influence. Beijing is prepared to move quickly on a free trade deal with Ecuador, which the government hopes to finalize by March. Ecuador was thankful for Biden's donation of 2 million vaccine doses in July, Baki says, but China had already provided 13 million. Reflecting on the political turmoil across the region and what he saw as limited U.S. engagement, Another South American diplomat told Axios the U.S. would look up one day and realize it had no friends left in the hemisphere. China's trade dominance could allow it to thwart those U.S. objectives, peel countries away from Taiwan, influence the way politics and business are conducted, and down the road, potentially even establish a military presence. The U.S. was the top trading partner of 9 of the 12 countries in South America 2 decades ago, and the top partner across the board from outside the continent. Thank you, Redbeard, for the cookie. And thank you, Laura QAnon, for the can. Sweet, baby. It's good to see you. Our cloaked unseen force 2 different uniforms. Okay, you're talking about 2 different uniforms, friend. I got you now. I got you. All right, I understand. I thought it was all going to be mixed into one uniform here. Okay, where was I? China has now surpassed the U.S. in all but Colombia, Ecuador, and Paraguay, and it may soon be the largest partner for those countries as well. It's not as though the U.S. is no longer a critical ally for countries in that region, Myers says. It's just that China is very much present in sectors where the U.S. isn't. China is willing to do business in authoritarian-leaning countries that are shunned by the U.S. I could have swore there was a video that went with this. Every single Latin American country is seduced by the potential of the China economic opportunity.
Well, we've talked about the Belt and Road Initiative in Latin America, moving into Latin America for months now here. This is a problem. Like, you got to understand, for the longest, I mean, since like the Monroe Doctrine and Teddy Roosevelt, like Latin America was specifically not necessarily under the protection of the United States, but it was understood that you don't come over here influence peddling, right? And we've seen as China becomes the #1 trade partner for more and more of these countries globally, that their expanse into this area is a huge problem for us. You know, the Belt and Road Initiative specifically, I mean, these are debt traps that are set up where a country can never pay back what it owes to China, and China de facto is taking control of ports and other.
That's
really
what they said in the article. They say that it's not costing anything, but it absolutely is.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's costing everything.
Yeah,
it's costing literally everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then China, it gets its foothold, and then its influence starts to spread into other things in the culture. I mean, you don't, you know, from just infrastructure into their local media, into their local, you know, whatever mining operations, like it expands, and then they're stuck on the Chinese teat, and it's really going to be a problem for us in the future if we don't figure something out.
Hey, Foil, your nails look nice.
They're fixed, man. Thanks. Sorry, it's a thing.
Oh man, I had to.
Don't you mock me.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. You know what I mean?
Don't you mock me.
You lined it up, flying them around like this in the camera.
Well, I always talk with my hands. You just normally can't tell because for the past 2 months.
Well, that's why it's really important to get your nails done, because when you talk with your hands, they're a main focal point.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, you really got to have them done. It's really important. You know what I mean?
It is so important.
So, hey, UFO Mark, you made it over from Wilcock, huh? Is Wilcock still streaming?
Whoop, whoop.
Is Wilcock still streaming? If you go back over to Wilcock, tell him Alara sent you. All right. China must be prepared to make the first nuclear strike in response to growing U.S. presence in the region and AUKUS strategic partnership, senior diplomat declares. Man, China must be ready to
slightly terrifying.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah. China must be ready to use nuclear weapons and should abandon its no first use policy to push back against new alliances forming in the Pacific, a senior diplomat has said. Sha Kang, the country's former ambassador to the UN, told a summit of Chinese nuclear policy experts that it is time to re-examine and fine-tune a long-standing commitment to only use nukes in retaliation as the U.S. builds new military alliances and as it increases its military presence in our neighborhood. Beijing's current policy, which has been in place since the 1960s, has given China the moral high ground, but is not suitable unless China-U.S. negotiations agree that neither side would use nuclear weapons first. Zhu Kang's comments, which come as China builds
Silent Bob Ross is killing me. Yes, I went into society. No, I didn't go that far into society.
He ratted you out. You had to have gone into society to do that, right? So how
I
come we
only
don't
went
have the
into
UFO footage from
I
your cell
went
phone?
to local society. I did
Right.
not go to where I need to go.
She knows she went to Walmart. Or no, you didn't get your nails done.
Get my nails done in no damn Walmart, girl. What?
I'm picturing the nail shop. It was next to the Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, aren't all the nail shops next to the Walmart, man?
It's next to the Ulta. There's an Ulta here, which is...
Oh, you went to the fancy schmancy nail place next to Ulta.
What?
Oh, man. Thank you, Silent Bob Ross, for the ship. Foils
We
nails
love
done.
you.
That means you went into society. See? I didn't even read his comment. I said the same thing. How come your phone isn't unlocked? I think she's afraid of what's in that phone. That's what I think. That's what I think. But, you know, soon enough, I'll be in the same physical space as you in that phone. And then I'm going to tell you, I'll put you in the car, all right, with mud grips and all.
You taking somebody hostage, man?
With mud grips and all, we're going to run down there to the store and get that phone unlocked. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Okay.
And yes, Carrie, of course the whole article is highlighted. Foil of Walmart.
It's going to start a whole rumor. Foil gets her nails done at Walmart. What? All the girls are going to be like, what?
Like, oh my God.
Foil does what? God, that's so ghetto.
Nobody goes to
She's
Walmart.
so ghetto. It's all my fault.
Yes, I am ghetto. No, I didn't go to Walmart.
Oh, what a mess. Okay, so Zhang's comments, which come as China builds hundreds of nuclear missile silos. Yes. He spoke in the same week as U.S. announced a major new alliance with the UK and Australia dubbed AUKUS to provide the latter with its first nuclear-powered submarines, a major technological advancement that is clearly designed to counterbalance Chinese power in the Pacific. Zhang's warning also comes in the wake of another alliance between the U.S., India, Japan, and Australia dubbed the Quad. So look at here. Here's the chart of the breakdown of what China's got, what Russia's got, what we got, and what the UK has. Wow, look at Russia. They're packing, buddy. Man. They are packing.
And they have upgraded, but our shit is outdated. Almost all of it. Russia, I think we talked about this a couple of months ago. Russia is nearly 80% upgraded on their entire arsenal.
Russia's armed to the teeth, dude. Like, yes, look at China and UK compared to us and Russia, and even Russia's got us beat. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. China became a nuclear power in 1964 with its first successful test of a bomb and adopted its no first use policy 4 years later. It states that Beijing will never be the first to use nukes in a conflict, but will use them if struck first. It mirrors a policy that Russia implemented between 1982 and 1993, though abandoned due to fears that the weakened state of its army following the breakup of the Soviet Union could encourage an attack by the U.S. The U.S. has a policy to never use or threaten to use nuclear weapons against a majority of other nations, including all of those without nuclear weapons, but has exempted China, Russia, and North Korea from the policy. Global nuclear policy is rapidly changing as a number of Cold War-era treaties, notably New START and the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, expire, with Washington hoping to renegotiate them to include China. You know what this is? Now that I'm seeing it laid out in a graphic format like this, thank you for the cookie, Kiz. Kiz says, hello, ladies. Much love. Much love to you, best friend. Thank you. It's like intimidation. Like, we got so much heat that it's like, that's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what I mean, Foil.
I mean, this is just focusing on nuclear capable weaponry. This isn't even talking about all of the other stuff that they do, that they're doing and that they have. Remember, I was just telling you before the show that I'm going to be talking about their doctrine of unrestricted warfare. Like, they don't limit themselves to potential conflict. We've been at war with China. Right. They're doing all kinds of other shady stuff, and this is just referring to their nuclear capabilities.
Right.
I mean, you know,
right. They're strategic about using all kinds of types of things to
I mean, you know,
control. And
I'm just saying, like, one of their defense academies had congratulated President Xi on winning at biological warfare last year, right? At one of their military academies,
right?
In front of the whole, gave a speech talking about how he had definitely won that domain, right?
Yeah.
As if that doesn't speak volumes.
Yeah.
Well. You know, plus they are, remember, and I think the article mentioned it, but they're building all of those silos out there in the desert,
all right,
to potentially house, you know, exponentially more weaponry. Like,
the construction of hundreds of silos also marks a major shift in the makeup of China's nuclear threat, which currently relies heavily on mobile road-based launch pads and nuclear-capable bombers. China also has 4 nuclear-armed submarines. China is expanding its military as its economy balloons to rival that of the U.S., having lagged behind for decades. In addition to building new nuclear missiles and silos, it has constructed new aircraft carriers, tanks, fighter jets, spy and attack drones, along with new rifles for its troops. Beijing has used the new hardware to take a more aggressive stance in the Pacific, imposing its rule on Hong Kong, menacing Taiwan, and laying claim to a number of uninhabited islands in the South China Sea, which has constructed military bases on top of it.
Yeah, and building their own artificial islands.
Oh yeah.
Also,
didn't we cover that a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
that's wild.
A couple times, right? So I mean, not to mention their cyber capabilities, which isn't mentioned here, their biological capabilities, their total cultural subversion techniques. Like,
China claims rights over the South China Sea in its entirety, which would hand Beijing control over hugely valuable international shipping lanes, fishing grounds which neighboring countries rely on for food, and deposits of coal and oil which dot the seabed. Thank you, Amy Jo, for the cookie. 2 of the brightest lights in my life. Thank you so much, friend.
We love you.
Likewise. Definitely one of the brightest lights in my life for sure. All right. Where were we? With the end of the war in Afghanistan and the signing of the new AUKUS pact, attention has shifted away from the Middle East and towards the Pacific as the threat of direct conflict between the U.S. and China looming large. The flashpoint is likely to be Taiwan. There's lots of cool graphics in this one.
Yes, ma'am.
China has transferred several uninhabited islands in the South China Sea into military bases and has begun warning ships away from them, including threatening rival naval vessels. Yeah, man. That whole Taiwan situation.
I mean, they're now, don't forget, since we're talking about them and the whole nuclear strike first thing, remember just a couple of weeks ago, they told Japan flat out, like, if you come for Taiwan at all, we will launch first. And they specifically were talking about nuclear weapons. Not to mention they are in constant conflict with Japan directly over another island group in that region, the Senkaku Islands, that China is claiming for their own. That's clearly been Japanese territory. I mean, formally since World War II, but even before that. You know, there are several flashpoints there. Taiwan just seems the most obvious, but should Japan move to defend Taiwan and then maybe China goes for the Senkaku Islands and just drags Japan into the war, then we have to fight.
What a mess.
It is a complete mess.
Things were so peaceful when Trump was in office.
People were like, we don't know what that guy's going to do. Let's just
Nobody wanted to play with him. No.
Right? Like, that guy, who knows, man? Right? Who knows?
Yeah, that was great. I don't know what's going on now. This is madness. Okay, so
it is.
Foil, submarine feud showcases European anger and U.S. shifts focus to Asia. Is there a video to play in this or no?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, this is just expanding on what you were kind of just talking about as far as the AUKUS agreement, right? Mm-hmm. Australia ditched their agreement with France and is now going to roll with the United States and the UK to build these not nuclear submarines, nuclear powered submarines, but they're faster, they go farther. Like, it will be a significant improvement in their fleet. And you know that France had recalled their ambassador. Well, the other day, Biden had called up Macron and they tried to talk it out over the phone, right? But Macron was very clear, like, hey, man, you stabbed us in the back with this. You left us out of the alliance. You didn't tell us what was going on. You can't, you know, they dropped out of our contract with them. and it's upset a lot of our traditional Western allies too, even Germany and some of the other like UN reps and different people, especially this week while they were meeting at the United Nations, like they've said, hey, like we don't really know where the US stands as far as protecting their allies anymore. I mean, even though it failed, for God's sakes, like they tried to pull funding from Israel's Iron Dome. Like, thank God that failed. That's just how I feel about it. But I mean, nobody really knows where the US stands with their allies. So this formalization with Australia and the UK is kind of like, all right, this is the crew. You can either do what we're doing or you can go figure out something else. And like I said before, it's really hard because China is the #1 trading partner of a lot of these countries, like Germany. We expect Germany to roll with us. But remember, Germany was upset when they were fighting about the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. They wanted it. At first Biden didn't want to give in or claimed like he wasn't going to give in. They had a problem with that. Now Germany has a problem with this. Like this is breeding a lot of dissent. And then what's making it is even crazier is in the Indo-Pacific region specifically, there's become this great divide between countries. I mean, we've got disputes now where you've got countries like Malaysia that feel like this is going to make the region more unstable, and then you've got countries that want to stay out of it, like the Philippines. The guy over there, like he was all mad at China when they had all those fishing boats in his territory, if you remember. Now he's like, okay, we're cool because China said they were going to send him vaccines. But I mean, there's a huge split in the countries of the Indo-Pacific region themselves as far as this goes. Like people are kind of choosing their sides at this point. Right. I mean, it's
this crane, this Thai cray. Dick Ray, right? Third time's a charm. Coming with the cookie, just now dropping in, and you guys are always on time. Excuse me, ladies. Welcome, Ty Cray, and thank you so much for the cookie. Appreciate it.
We love you. Thank you.
All right, so then you've already gone into the Biden hosts Indo-Pacific leaders, China. You've already.
Well, this is something different. Like I don't know. It was mentioned in one of the articles that you were talking about, but you mentioned the Quad, right? So there's this kind of informal alliance that they call the Quad, right? Where India, Japan, Australia, and the US have kind of got this crew they're going to roll with, like this informal defense agreement. And number one, Biden had them get together this past Friday, and they were, they're talking about a whole host of different things. Like they were going to come up with, ways to boost semiconductor supply chains and vaccine initiatives, and like all of these different things, how they were going to bring in, doctorate and postdoctoral students into these different programs and kind of have them working together. So I mean, this is kind of big news, but China at the moment is trying to breed division even within the Quad, saying, hey, India, hey, Japan, the US just, buddied up with Australia. They're going to leave you out. Like, you better keep an eye on them. Like, they're already starting to sow the seeds of division here, which, I mean, I guess is to be expected. But, this is a very, very volatile situation all the way around. And instead of seeing what we saw like during the Cold War, everybody knew where everybody else stood. You were either with Russia or you were with the United States. What we're seeing now is something totally different. We're seeing these formations of these different trading blocks and these different defense partnerships.
Mike Holt just said Axis versus allies.
Yeah, it was very well defined during World War II. It was very well defined during the Cold War. But now we're seeing all of these little multilateral trading blocks and defense agreements and different groups that are all over the place, right? There's no centralization. It's kind of evolving into a very decentralized world, but you don't really know where people are going to stand. Like I said, Germany, like what are they going to do? NATO's becoming less relevant as far as a defense agreement. Now they've got AUKUS. They're very upset about that. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so it's not going to be very divided like it was.
It's not going to be predictable like it was in the past either, because of the clown we have in office that nobody respects. That's
also, there's that.
That
nobody knows what to do. And I didn't pull it for this show, but they were just talking like for the past couple of days, they have had, Defense Department whistleblowers coming out saying that if Trump gets put back into office, it's gonna do so much damage to our national defense and to our intelligence structure. Like, they're already coming at him in lieu of the idea that he's going to run in 2024, right? They're already trying to sow those seeds of doubt. And
Right.
I mean, the real problem is with Biden because he's so wishy-washy. At least Trump, what he's, where he's at.
Right.
There's no confusion about what he's going to do because he'll tell you.
Nutty. Okay, so this is wild, guys.
This is crazy.
This is wild. Okay, let's play the video for this, Foil.
That's all you can do.
Okay.
That's all you can do. And then I do have something to say about this too.
Oh, this is wild, dude.
This is kind of great, but
China has officially declared billionaire investor George Soros a global terrorist, labeling him the son of Satan. That comes from a major Chinese Communist Party mouthpiece, the Global Times. The article is titled, "This Global Economic Terrorist is Staring at China." It accuses the Human Rights Watch, funded by Soros's Open Society Foundations, of intentionally spreading rumors about China. The Global Times commentary also claims that Soros has been funding Hong Kong's Jimmy Lai since 2019. He's the jailed owner of news outlet Apple Daily. Apple Daily closed its business in 2021 due to Beijing's clampdown. It was one of the best-selling pro-democracy newspapers in Hong Kong. The article says Soros conspired with Lai, trying to start an anti-communist movement in Hong Kong, what they call a color revolution. Hong Kong police arrested 5 Apple Daily executives in June, saying more than 30 articles from their media violated the national security law. The articles called for foreign sanctions against Beijing. Over $2 million in the newspaper's assets were frozen. Soros recently wrote a commentary in the Wall Street Journal speaking about BlackRock, a New York-based investment management corporation. He said its $1 billion investment in China was a tragic mistake.
Yeah, Stack says that's calling the kettle black. Ain't that the truth?
Yes. But remember, like I've told you, I forget what we were talking about, but I truly believe that for the longest time, the cabal had propped up China thinking they were going to be able to control them, but that's not where we're at all. Russia and China are inherently going to be against any kind of NWO type of world order because it is predicated on the rule of the West. Like, these are Western ideas. They would have to live within Western systems, and they're just inherently opposed to that method of thinking. I want to, it's nice to see them calling out Soros as the son of Satan, right? But Soros has probably done a lot to build the regime and get them to where they're at. Now they're having this struggle because China's coming into its own. And believe it or not,
Right.
I mean, China will surpass us economically at some point just by virtue of the size of their production, the size of their production, the number of people they have, they've stole all. They steal all the intellectual property and then revamp it. They're able to nationalize industries and push it. I mean, it's going to happen at some point, right? Especially if we don't get a handle on the China situation. But to see them call Soros the son of Satan is kind of great.
Right. Roxy Boxy says, "How can an atheist country label someone as the son of Satan?"
They'll
Excellent point.
They'll co-opt whatever terminology will work to get their point across. I mean, just like how they were, the World Economic Forum had this sustainability thing, and then President Xi was speaking, at the UN stuff, and they're always talking about inclusion and equity and this and that. At the same time, China is fighting a war on what they call sissy men. They push us to do this stuff that they know will degrade the moral fabric of our country. At the same time, they're in their own country. Like, we're not having this shit.
Yeah, Amy Jo says, "Cabal created CCP. Now the stepchild extends middle finger and steals their Jeep."
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think it's about time for
Nature Break.
greatest thing ever.
Right.
It keeps leveling up too.
Thanks, Golden Crisp, for the can. He's jamming, man.
Yeah, it keeps leveling up. You'll see. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Much love to you.
That duck on the drums, though.
Right. Everybody needs to get a duck.
Remix. I like the breakdown. Yeah, man. Here we go. Dude. Wow. That's all I have to say. Like, that was just, wow. You know what I mean? The duck on drums, the whole thing was just remarkable. It really was. So shout out to
rocking out.
Kiffness. You just keep coming with the dope tracks, man. You know, he made a whole album from the cat songs he makes, the cat remixes.
Did he really? I love the cat remixes.
Yeah, the cat remix. I'm ready for the next one. You know what I mean? But it's hard to live up to, dude, because what's the one, Billy Bob, the one we played one time, what was it called? You know which one. That one, and then the one other, there's two of his cat videos.
Ginger Billy?
No,
Oh,
dude.
no, Billy Bob, the cat,
The cat,
right?
the cat, dude.
Yeah.
What does it say? I can't remember. But anyways, that cat and the other cat that we played, it's hard to top those two. Those were some jams. You know what I mean?
Those were some jams.
It's gonna be hard to find some cat remixes that compete with that. You know what I mean? And then, so I was impressed with the duck because I didn't think that song could be redone in such a fascinating fashion.
Oh,
And
it's gonna be stuck in my head for days now.
Yeah, he kills it. He absolutely kills it. Y'all, I have refrained from making a duckin' song video with Sid and Quackin'. They get it all the time in their kiddie pool. They do a bunch of head bobbing and then he rides her like a surfboard. Thank you for sharing that, Becky Lou. You know, that's what I get for not reading it first and reading it out loud. But
no, that's all right. We definitely need video of that.
Yeah, sure. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yep.
Why not? That is
Nature
definitely
break.
a nature break.
Right?
Sure.
Wet Willie, not Billy Bob.
Oh, whoops, my bad. See, somebody's an expert on it. Who knew it was Wet Willie?
Right, Mel Tulip.
Mel Tulip news. She knows. Yep. All right. So, and while we're on ducks and geese and so forth, why not? Let's go ahead and watch this other one. They're into it. He's into it.
Right. Aren't geese usually assholes?
They can be, yeah. Oh, not if you play harmonica, apparently.
Right? They're chilling. Like, look at this guy.
No, now they're getting kind of bent about it, dude.
Right?
Yeah. Wow.
Aw, Phil Christophers, thank you. Just missed it. Evolution is happening to our consciousness too. Yes, we are evolving.
It's
sir.
true.
Thank you
I
so
think
much
even
for
the
super
animals,
chat.
even the animals are upgrading. Thank you so much, Phil Christophers. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, you would think.
My mom says she
named
named him Honk. Are you gonna put Honk in Squirts, Mom? I mean, curious. Are we gonna put Honk in Squirts? I'd have a geese.
Dennis Lindsay says, "Sorry, Alara, you can't milk the birds. Bird milk will never die."
I said I was gonna try to milk them. I'm not.
You don't
gonna milk
remember
them.
the bird milking?
Yes, of course I remember the bird milking. I thought I'd lived that one down, but then you had to go and bring it back up on Space Force News. So.
Well, don't feel bad. I'm foil of Walmart now. Thanks. Pretty much.
Here we go. Science! So this is exciting.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Thanks for the cookie, Sean Joe.
All right, these are reliable method for triggering lucid dreams. Scientists have found, man, if we could all get to the point where we could lucid dream, that would be dope. Dude, just go in there and you can do whatever you want in dream world. It's great. Fly, right. You can teleport stuff, you can talk to people that, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff. Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Really, really appreciate it. I don't know why Teddy Ruxpin just flashed in my head. I had no idea why that would make me think of Teddy Ruxpin. Maybe I want to talk to Teddy Ruxpin. I think it's a deep-seated childhood thing with me. Like, I love Teddy Ruxpin. I would like a teddy bear that I can talk to, that I have a conversation with, right? I think that would be totally cool, right? That's why I loved it as a kid. So, if I could lucid dream, you know, I could create a teddy bear. I could create my own Teddy that I could talk to, right? I could hang out with Teddy in the astral plane. We could talk. I don't know what else we would do, but we could talk. I could tell him stories. He could tell me stories, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever's clever. Only about half of us ever experience lucid dreams in our lives, and efforts to trigger the phenomenon have delivered mixed results. But a study published in 2018 revealed one of the most effective ways of inducing lucid dreaming yet. Building on their own previous research, researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the Lucidity Institute in Hawaii wanted to investigate how chemicals called, I have no idea how to say that, so we're going to call them
acetylcholinesterase.
Why are you always trying to shell me up like that, dude?
What?
Big brain. God, you remind me of that person I was telling you about the other day. God, that was something she would do. Big time. All right. ACHEIS might promote lucid dreaming. Or, Foil, you can go ahead and just say it, since you know how to say it.
What? But the next, acetylcholinesterase?
Did you look that up? Did you look it up in the dictionary?
No,
first?
it's from
Don't lie.
acetylcholine. I swear to God. This is... Oh, we're glitching. Right?
Skynet's not into
from acetylcholine.
Okay. Wow, how do you say that again?
Acetylcholine or acetylcholine.
That's not the whole word.
Well, acetylcholinesterase.
Acetylcholinesterase. How many people out there can say it? Try to say it to yourself. See how that works out. See if you can say it. If you said it properly, put a 1 in the chat. If you definitely did not say it properly, put a 2. Let's see how many people out there can pronounce it the way that you just did on the first try. We're about to find out. How do you say it again, Foil?
Acetylcholinesterase.
ACHEI, okay? Might promote lucid dreaming. Look, we got a couple ones out there. A couple people said it. Kelly, no luck. Kelly didn't have any luck. You know, it seems like most people can pronounce it. That's great. Although I don't see any action from the foxhole yet. Chesed said it. Mike Holt said it. Look, there's only no, see, there's people fessing up in the foxhole, dude. See, YouTube's trying to say, no, we got it. Foxhole's at least fessing up, like, no, I didn't say it right. It didn't come out right. So, thanks, guys, for getting my back. I really appreciate it. Look, Divine Fractal's out there breaking it down syllable by syllable for the whole chat. That's awesome. The neurotransmitter acetylcholine is thought to help modulate REM sleep, and ACHEIs help this compound to aggregate in the brain by inhibiting an enzyme called
acetylcholinesterase.
All right. That activates
that inactivates acetylcholine.
Thank you. As it happens, a common drug used to treat memory decline in Alzheimer's disease known as
What, galantamine?
galantamine, we'll go with that, is a fast-acting ACHEI with only mild side effects. These volunteers weren't just everyday people, but enthusiasts with an established interest in lucid dreams, who also had undertaken training with lucid dream induction protocols, including what is known as the mild technique. When the cognitive training was combined with
Galantamine.
lucid stuff started to happen. The combination of the induction technique paired with the Alzheimer's medication looks to indeed help trigger lucid dreams, and the higher dosage delivered a stronger result. This combined protocol resulted in a total of 69 out of 121 participants, that's 57%, successfully having a lucid dream on at least 1 out of 2 nights on an active dose of
Galantamine.
All right. In addition to helping people enjoy fantastic dreams where they can help control what happens, and they can have their own teddy, they can talk to it, whatever they want to do, the research could also help explain the links between lucid dreams and consciousness and help people to confront their fears and process trauma while safely sleeping. And I think this is an absolutely fantastic idea. I'm glad that progress is being made with this, with consciousness, and with how the dream world can be used to do all these things. I think that this is fantastic news. I'm very excited about this.
I wonder, Mod.
Very, very excited about this. I keep hearing.
Yeah,
things.
it's good that they're putting effort into looking into these things instead of just putting all this on the back burner.
Mars probe records a big 1.5-hour Martian earthquake, guys. We got a Martian earthquake on our hands.
Oh,
I wonder if it disturbed.
Quake.
I wonder if it disturbed the Martian spiders.
Oh God.
We don't know. I know that Woke One is
Right.
really afraid of those Mars spiders, though.
He's
Really.
not the only one.
Right? You are too.
Yes,
That's your,
we've
that's
had
your
this
common
discussion
bond. That's your
about-
common bond. Fear of the Mars spiders.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. NASA recently reported that its InSight lander sent to observe geologic activity beneath the Martian surface recorded one of the biggest quakes yet on September 18th. The 4.2 trembler, a quake that would have been big enough for people to feel had it happened on Earth, lasted an hour and a half. NASA said the event was one of the biggest, longest lasting Mars quakes the mission has ever detected. The agency also noted that the 4.2 quake was the third major quake InSight has observed in the last month. Both a 4.2 and a 4.1 magnitude quake hit on August 25th. Solar-powered lander has observed hundreds of quakes, suggesting there might be volcanically active places in the Martian underground, perhaps hot molten rock, also known as magma, moving and flowing like it does here on Earth. Earthquakes, man. Mars quakes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mars quakes.
An hour and a half, though. Can you imagine?
That's a long earthquake, dude.
That's wild.
Dude, that would totally screw some stuff up here. Like, that would be a disaster.
That is wild.
All right, so we got this going. First, scientists track 1 million neurons near simultaneously in a mouse brain. They're like, yeah, Laura, get to the crypto trading hamster, would you?
Right. Well, this is great. We've talked about them scanning the neural pathways of the mice brains before, you know. So now they're stepping their game up, apparently.
Researchers have managed to keep tabs on 1 million different neurons in the brains of mice at one time, taking scientists an impressive step closer towards one day being able to track the very complex activity of human brains. The key is an innovation that's being called light beads microscopy. It improves on current 2-photon microscopy, using lasers to trigger induced fluorescence in living cells. As the cells are lit up, scientists can see how they're moving and interacting. With light beads microscopy, scientists can get the speed, scale, and resolution required to map a mouse brain in detail as its neural activity changes. The near simultaneous tracking can last for as long as the light beads are able to stay illuminated. Current microscopy techniques have to choose between zooming in to get enough detail and missing out on everything that's going on, or zooming out to see the whole picture and losing some of the finer details. Light beads microscopy is able to overcome these limitations by removing the dead time between laser pulses. Using a cavity of mirrors, it splits each single strong pulse into 30 smaller subpulses of different strengths, which are then all able to reach different depths while keeping the same level of fluorescence. This means multiple depths can be visualized in the same pulse, giving scientists a deeper, faster look at what's happening. Through light beads microscopy, the scientists are hoping to be able to track the interactions between the sensory, motor, and visual regions of the brain, not just in mice, but in other animals too. Light beads microscopy will allow us to investigate biological questions in a way that has not been possible before.
Now, I am of the opinion that they can already track the way the neurons react in our brain. That they're already able to do this with the human brain.
Yeah.
You know,
You're probably right
but
about
that's all right. They can publish these articles if they want.
Well, I can see that most people are really petrified of spiders, or spiders, Mars spiders, whatever. So I will volunteer to be the spider ambassador. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Whenever the spider people show up, the spider beings, anything that's got 8 legs, or really more than, 2.
Yeah, bro. You know how this is going to go. You just come get me from the bunker when it's done. Like once you
call me, I'll be the spider ambassador. I'll be the
once you've reached some sort of agreement with the spider people. Yes, then
I'm
you
sure
can
they're
come
telepathic.
and get me.
So I could read their intent.
Oh, that's great.
And
I feel so much better now.
I would know what's going on, and I wouldn't get intimidated by all 8 of their eyes and their legs.
Dear God, telepathic spider people. Like, could it be any worse?
How else are we going to talk, Foil?
Man, I don't know, but not like that.
Show me what a talking spider looks like.
I don't need them in my head, bruh. Like, they can find something else to do.
You can send me as the ambassador. I volunteer. This will work out fine.
We'll go.
Yeah,
right?
I'll talk to him. It's cool.
Bruh.
All right, so where are we now? Living pharmacy, Foil. Living pharmacy.
Oh, yes. This is crazy.
We're
going to talk about...
We're still in science, aren't we? Yeah, we're still in science.
Yes. We're going to talk about DARPA for a minute. These fools, right? So these fools have now funded a project, right? And they don't say how far along they are with this project.
Hold on, just a second. Cloaked Unseen World says he'll go with me. Spiders don't scare me.
Oh, well, you two.
So thank God,
perfect.
You'll have me and our
race.
Cloaked Unseen World as the ambassador to the spider persons of unknown origin here on Earth. Continue. Sorry.
Right. So DARPA is funding a project.
Yeah.
To make a light-activated, implantable pharmacy in a human. Now they're saying that they want to do this right now for the troops, and that what they're focusing on at the moment is to get this implantable chip that has these synthetic cells in it that are able to create these peptide strands that will control a human's circadian rhythms. They're saying that they can use this, like for people maybe that they're suffering from jet lag, or, they're not sleeping well and they're in combat. But I mean, think about where else they could take that. They could also keep these fools awake for a really long time. We've talked, like, one of the first things that they were talking, like with the super soldiers, was we get fatigued. How can they fight fatigue? Well, imagine if you had this implantable device that was constantly pushing out these peptides that would either keep you awake or put you to sleep. Okay. And that's just one possible scenario for this. Okay. They could literally program these biomolecules to produce any drug. And they talk about using this, like maybe people that need insulin, or, people with other chronic conditions. But just think about how far they could take this. What happens when drug dealers get a hold of this? Like, this could be all bad. Okay. And then, I mean, what if they don't want you-
Dumpy Montana says, I bet the first application of this is Viagra.
Right. And then there's that, right? And then there's that. It's crazy. Like, they're literally merging traditional electronics and synthetic biotechs and synthetic biology. They want to put it in these people's arms. They're going to try it out on the troops, but I mean, you can see where this would go as far as potential human applications.
The vegan here is very concerned about the plant vaccines. I'm going to be real here,
dude.
The only solution here is to grow your own.
It's so crazy because they were just mocking General Flynn, last week when he said something about, he made some comment about vaccines in salad dressing. Well, I don't know if he didn't read the article. He wasn't completely off base. He was talking about molecular farming.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we've been over this. I did. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch my video on molecular
I'm getting stressed
farming.
out thinking about this. I really am.
Dude, not just the vaccines, they can grow the drugs in the plants, and right now they're extracting them, but they're at the point now where they can just literally leave the drugs in the plants to be ingested and then produce whatever it is.
I better go back to Hawaii, man. This is all bad.
Better get you some heirloom. I got a whole bunch. I don't even know what I'm going to do with them, but I did buy a bunch of heirloom seeds, Alara. So don't you worry.
Well, you better plant them in the ground, man. You gotta plant, have them grow stuff.
You are the one that is all in tune with nature. Like, I bought the
that's
seeds,
my job.
I'll buy all the farming equipment, whatever we need, but you come out here and get the land in order, because otherwise I'll just be trading seeds for shit, dude. I don't know.
Okay. Deal.
You
Deal,
grow.
because otherwise clearly
right?
I'm gonna starve. So, if being the spider, hey, the comments in the chat about the spider beans was great, but that moment has come and gone now. So the living pharmacy scares the bejesus out of me too.
Right. I see PDX Patriot says this will kill big pharma. They won't let it happen. That's not necessarily true. What if they only program it to release for a certain amount of time? They could do it the same way that they do. Then
Just like they do with the patches. Just like they do with the patches.
Right.
Yep.
Believe there's a way they can monetize this and not lose anything. Yep. And then what happens when you're born and they put the implant in there in event that you may need medication? They can program it for whatever. Like this, they can extrapolate this out in a million different ways. At birth, you're given your implant or whatever.
Yeah, Commies or Garbage says you're gonna trade all the seeds for mud grips. It's true.
Hey,
I hope she still has them by the time I go to plant everything.
I have a stockpile of seeds. We're good on the seeds. I don't even know why, but I felt compelled to buy a whole bunch of seeds last summer. And so I got a ton of seeds. We're good.
We don't have any seeds, but I got new mud grips. Laura, I got you some mud grips for your truck. Thanks, Foil.
Right.
I need some tomatoes, but thanks. Okay. Yeah.
Right, you better go trade these seeds.
Yay.
Yay.
You better go trade these seeds. Right? Better get on it.
Right. Roxy Boxy. I love the idea of science and medicine, but where the funding is going on these different experiments and the ideas of progress worry me. Listen, this could be a phenomenal thing. As always, I say, like, a lot of this tech is awe-inspiring and amazing and a miracle.
It's just in the hands of evil people, dude.
Yes.
That's the problem.
The people that scare me.
Right. So we got to get rid of the evil people. That's the solution, because the tech is going to keep moving forward. It's going to keep progressing.
What can we do about it at this point?
We have to get rid of these evil people. That's entirely the problem that needs to be solved at this point. So are we still on science here with the Diffuse project?
Yeah, the Project Diffuse is science.
Okay, so the Project Diffuse
is also DARPA. This is, you guys might have caught this story. This is kind of freaking wild.
DARPA.
Yes, always. Well, this is amazing, because this is something DARPA said no to. How crazy does something have to be for even DARPA to be like, that sounds
that's
like
kind of shady,
idea, guys. Right? How horrible does it have to be when they're like, I don't think we're gonna do that one, right? And what's crazy is this Project Diffuse was written up and suggested by none other than your boy Peter Daszak and the Eco Health Alliance, right? They had this idea where they thought what they wanted to do. Obviously, this was gain of function research, and it had dual use, which was another reason why DARPA said no. But they wanted to inject chimeric bat coronaviruses into humanized and batified mice. So they want to do all this gene splicing. They're going to take these mice, they're going to put human genes and bat genes in it. We're going to infect them with these crazy chimeric coronaviruses, and we're going to see what happens. And then they had, as a further extension of the plan, what they wanted to do was aerosolize the virus and go spray it into caves full of bats, as if this would ever be a good idea.
You know, Diddy brought up a good point the other day. We were talking about chemtrailing and stuff like that, and he said, you know, it's very possible that they're spraying us with, you know, these bioweapons at this point, that it's not just the heavy metals. And yeah,
absolutely,
it's very likely.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking too about the whole issue with that, what do you call it, that African-born, the pig virus or whatever, I forget what it's called,
the African swine flu. It's now coming from Haiti.
Entirely like that they could have confirmed that case over there, and yes, that's what it is, and yes, it doesn't harm humans, but it could be modified to do so. And would we even know with all this genetic engineering that's going on, these bioweapons that are being created, would we even have any clue before it was already over here and too late and people were getting sick? Or they could blame it on something else. You know what I mean?
Not only could it jump
the Kappa variant,
like, right?
We can't test for.
Not only could it jump, like, you know, we talk about, you know, zoonotic viruses that jump between species or whatever, but not even that. But it could be carried over and infect our food supply. We're already having
that's already going to be the issue. It's already going to infect the pigs if it gets over here, and we're being flooded with people from that area right now. It's already going to affect the pigs and be a huge problem with the food supply issue, which already is a problem and going to become an even bigger problem. So if you haven't planted your garden, I would suggest now you begin doing so.
Man, I mean, absolutely.
So do we know the thing with the farmers? Like, is that true or not? Like, I went into that the other day, and it looks like the mainstream media is trying to this is what it looks like to me, but please correct me if I'm wrong and you know more than I do. It looks to me like the mainstream media is trying to debunk it, but it's like they're trying to get ahead of it because the story got out. I don't know that I necessarily buy that it's debunked, that the FDA, like, they're getting these letters of farmers, they're telling them to burn their stuff.
Okay, so there are programs in place where the government will subsidize you either not to grow on your land or to only sell a certain amount or whatever. Okay, so that is true, right? That part was true. I had to go through this while I was working.
Right.
What's crazy isn't even necessarily that program. What's crazy is the way they're trying to reformat the entire food supply chain. Mm-hmm. Right. And I know that we've talked about this 100 times, like the rise of this lab meat and these meat alternatives that they're pushing, and how we ship the majority of our pork and beef goes to other countries, and we're importing as the supply chain is crashing.
It goes to China and then comes back. It's the craziest thing ever. Yeah,
exactly. And at the same time, they're limiting the amount of land. Like they want to make everything protected national reserve land where you can't let your cattle or whatever, your herds graze, and they're attacking. It's crazy because as the price of beef is going up in the store and the price of chicken is going up in the store, the price of a head of cattle is not going up. Right. So they're attacking the production part, and then they're trying to limit the actual ranchers from being able to do what they need to do. They're trying to cut the meat supply specifically to push out this lab meat stuff. And like Biden said, you know, it'll be a treat for you. You know, Klaus Schwab.
What do you think?
You won't eat meat all the time.
The end game with them. Why do they want everybody eating fake meat, dude? What's the end game with that? You think? Like,
they're controlling the production. They're completely in control of that production.
I understand that, but there's got to be an alternative. There's got to be something driving why they want everyone specifically eating fake meat now.
They want us to completely dependent on them for our food supply. You can't, they don't want you to be able to have your own chickens or to be able to have, like, it just creates a whole nother level of dependency on them for your food. And then they're in control, because if you control the food, you control the people. You know, I mean, that was something Stalin had pushed a long time ago. Like, you control the food, you know, hungry people will do whatever you tell them.
It's just like you said, the Agenda 2030 thing, Klaus Schwab, all of it all ties in.
Absolutely.
When you know what the end game is, then it all makes sense. The little moves happening on the chessboard.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
I mean? You know, so
just like Bill Gates buying up all the farmland, like all of this stuff is connected. All of it.
Yeah, it's true. And you've been sounding the alarm about this stuff for a long time, Foyle.
Long time.
Foyle was sounding the alarm about this stuff, guys, on Twitter long before we started doing this show, or she had a channel, or I had a channel. Foyle's been sounding the alarm on Twitter about this type of stuff for a long time.
I mean, these are just the things that stick out to me, and especially like especially if I'm working and I'm seeing from all over the world, because I get stuff not just from here, I get stuff from all over the world, and I see these patterns emerging. Like in the UK, they're killing them all off, killing off birds, all the chickens because they're afraid of avian flu, killing off all of this. That'll be another way that they say, well, these animals breed disease, and we can't have disease because everybody's got to be healthy all the time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to control for these viral vectors via these animals by making you eat this very healthy and sanitized
it all boils down
lab
to control.
concoction.
It all boils down to just
Always.
Control. Period. We are going to be a controlled, completely enslaved slave species, and that's the game plan. And not just controlled in the way that, oh, you can't eat. Yeah, that's going to happen. Like, you can't eat unless you do what we say. But it's really going to come to the point where we're actually controlled and connected to a hive mind, and it's going to get well. It's going to get well beyond even that level of control. It's going to get, for those that choose that path, that timeline.
EO2 Daves is taking protein out of the diet over generations will make a weaker race of people.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only just taking the protein out, all of the added estrogen in these fake meat products, because this is a big problem.
Oh, it's already affecting the men.
Whatever. Right.
It already is. There's already a huge difference.
And you love how, like I said, China is anti-sissy men, but over here we're like, yay,
sissy men, woohoo.
Right. Woo, right.
Is there any more we need to go into in this before we go to the next one?
No, not necessarily. Nope.
Thank you, Our Cloaked Unseen World, for the cookie. My dad and grandpa owned farm, paid to mow 33% every year. I did the mowing during summer, Greene County, Ohio. All right, so we're moving on, right?
Moving right along.
Yeah, that topic needed to be discussed because that's exactly what's going on right now. What is this?
Oh, we're going to talk more about animal craziness here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to remember where we're at. Okay. Footprints suggest humans migrated deep into North America earlier than previously known.
Yeah, so this is kind of wild. So there was
then we'll go
evidence.
Do you want to do the farm animals first?
Yeah,
next?
You know what? I was just going to say
Let's
that.
Do the
go
farm
ahead.
Animal. Let's do that first.
Since while we're talking about it, right? Show them these.
Dude.
Look, these like that pig looks
so
like
wrong.
It will whoop your ass, dude. I'm telling you. Right?
That's
There's
so
more
wrong.
pictures. Scroll down so they can see the pictures. Like,
so
this is
wrong,
crazy.
It's just.
Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, the article "Pigging Hell" in the mutant double muscle pigs and cows being bred to ward off bacon and beef.
Look at that cow, man.
Right. He looks just angry, just standing there all.
I'd be angry too, dude. Look at that pig.
Look, right? Don't he look like he's just ready to go? Like, that's crazy. Now, here's the thing. The cows, there is a naturally occurring genetic mutation that they can selectively breed for that will create these double muscle cows. Okay. And they're doing that. Right. So there hasn't been necessarily any genetic alterations to the cows to get this to happen. Right. They've just selectively bred for this particular mutation.
Yeah.
Right. In order to produce obviously more beef. Now with the pigs, it's a different story. There's a researcher in South Korea that has been altering the genetic sequence of the pigs to actually create this in the pig stock, right? And he hasn't, right, as at the moment, there are no countries that will allow these genetically altered pigs to be consumed. And this isn't gene splicing. Like, they're not taking genes from one animal and putting it into the pigs. They're just altering the genetics of the pigs themselves to get them to produce this mutation. He's only got, at this point, he had I don't know, 30 or 40 pigs that he has gotten to grow this way. Right. But he's currently wanting to expand his testing and to try and push for countries to allow for this to be able to be consumed, because right now it's illegal for people to consume this genetically altered meat.
They're trying to change that.
They're absolutely trying to change that.
Dude.
Right.
Whew. Gross.
So yeah, they're definitely crazy.
Man. All right. So footprints suggest humans migrated. We're still in science, right?
Yes, this is the last one.
Okay. So footprints suggest humans migrated deep into North America earlier than previously known, but our crowd knows that they've been there.
Yeah, well, right. Even this
our
is
crowd
an
knows this.
understatement.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Even this is an understatement. So there was evidence that was published this week that showed that they got fossilized footprints, right, at White Sands National, and this is something else interesting. It was at White Sands National Park in New Mexico where they got these fossilized footprints. They were all like teenagers and kids and young people. But the paper that they published in Science suggests that these people were there at least 10,000 years before the currently accepted dates of North American human occupation.
See?
Okay, so they gave us another 10, they said, okay, well, we were here at least 10,000 years before what we previously thought. Now, these people that published this paper, they know they're going to get a lot of flack for this, and they said it, like, within the academic community, like, there is always massive pushback when they try to alter the dates,
right,
of human settlement, especially when it comes to North America. Like, they do not want people to know how early there were people here. So they've given us, they said, at least 23,000 years ago, which is about 10,000 years earlier than what we had assumed up until recently. Yeah. What's interesting about this is that they found these fossilized footprints at White Sands National Park in New Mexico, which just happens to be extremely close to White Sands Proving Grounds. Weren't we talking about how they have turned a lot, like anytime we're talking about Tartaria or whatever, like we talk about how they turn into military bases or they're bombing grounds or they go in and destroy things so that evidence is lost. I just thought it was interesting that they found these fossilized footprints, a stone's throw from White Sands Proving Ground.
Yeah, it's interesting. My theory is they've built a lot of our bases on top of stuff that they don't want people to know about.
Absolutely.
They either couldn't move, they couldn't relocate it, or whatever. There's something to hide, and that's why the base was built there. Or there was something already there that they needed access to in a discrete, in a discrete manner. So. And
Google Earth has got it all blocked out. Like,
oh yeah,
when I went to go try and look it up, you can see where it's all stitched and wrong.
And you got NASA up there pretending like we're doing stuff and making sure everybody doesn't really see anything that's really going on. It's just like it's like a continuous movie. We're in space. Look at the people floating. It's like a continuous movie on loop that never reveals any of the truth. Like it's fascinating.
Course.
It's fascinating, man. And on that note, let's move to technology. Technology. Planet Psyop, dude.
Man.
Flying microchips the size of a sand grain could be used for population surveillance. Isn't this good news, guys?
In NPR, of all places.
It's neither a bird nor a plane, but a winged microchip as small as a grain of sand that can be carried by the wind as it monitors such things as pollution levels or the spread of airborne diseases.
Of course.
All right, let's watch the video.
And that has the effect of increasing the dispersal distance from the tree. And that's the name of the game, is spreading the seeds as far as possible.
How small that is, Foil.
I know,
Look at
right?
the
The goal
ant
of this
standing next
project
to it.
has been to add capability for winged flight to electronic circuit chips, with the idea that those capabilities would allow us to distribute highly functional but miniaturized electronic devices that could sense the environment for disease tracking, population surveillance, maybe monitoring of environmental contamination, and so on.
Smart dust, Foil.
So the objects that we've created consist of two parts. One is an electronic functional component that has an overall size scale in the range of 1 millimeter. So almost like a tiny grain of sand. But we've integrated with that electronic chip wing structures that form almost what looks like a helicopter. And so as these structures fall through the air, in interaction between the air and those wings cause a rotational motion that creates a very stable, slow falling velocity that allows these structures to interact for extended periods with ambient wind that really enhances the dispersal process, much like seeds do in the biological world. We think we've beaten biology in a sense.
God.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
guy.
Yep. Because God didn't know what he was doing, right? Like, I'm so tired of humans, dude.
And you notice how they say about how it could biodegrade. What happens when somebody gets a whole lung full of those things? You know, they're released into the air, and then what?
Craziness. Lithuania urges people to throw away their Chinese cell phones.
Yeah, buddy.
Consumers should throw away their Chinese phones and avoid buying new ones, Lithuania's defense ministry has warned. A report by its National Cybersecurity Center tested 5G mobiles from Chinese manufacturers. It claimed that one Xiaomi. You know, hey. Xiaomi. All right. Xiaomi phone had built-in censorship tools while other Hawaii models had security flaws. Hawaii said no user data is sent externally. And what is it called again, Foil?
What? Where are we at? What?
The name of the phone.
Xiaomi and
Xiaomi
Huawei?
said it. Huawei? It's not.
Huawei.
Okay, so I'll just, yeah. Huawei said no user data is sent externally, and Xiaomi said it does not censor communications. I would fail miserably in China. I would never be able to order anything. I would never be able to make it anywhere. It would be a complete disaster. So it looks like I won't be going there anytime soon. Huawei said no user data is sent externally and Huawei does not censor communications. Our recommendation is to not buy new Chinese phones and to get rid of those already purchased as fast as reasonably possible. Xiaomi flagship look at that, 10T 5G phone was found to have software that could detect and censor terms including Free Tibet, Long Live Taiwan Independence, or Democracy Movement. Wow.
Right.
Wow. All right.
Thanks, HRT Whisper, for the super chat. Much love.
It highlighted more than 449 terms that could be censored by the Xiaomi phone's system apps, including the default internet browser. In Europe, this capability has been switched off on those models, but the report argued it could be remotely activated at any time. The research also found that, how do you say it again?
Huawei?
No. The other one.
Xiaomi?
Xiaomi device was transferring encrypted phone usage data to a server in Singapore. Thank you so much, Heart Whisper. Appreciate you. Huawei P40. The report also highlighted a flaw in Huawei's P40 5G phone, which put user at risk of cybersecurity breaches. The official Huawei application store app gallery directs users to third-party e-stores where some of the applications have been addressed by antivirus programs as malicious or infected with viruses. A further 5G model by OnePlus was also examined by the team, but was found to have no issues.
It's crazy because the software this code is already there. It's just not active. What other code is already there? Not even just in the phones, in any of our Chinese tech that could be remotely activated.
Yeah, it's
right.
wild.
This is the problem. I mean, this is why they were having such a fit about Chinese drones, like camera drones.
Right.
But I mean, they had already grabbed such a big portion of the market by the time the United States ramped up enough to have production of its own units. Like, what are you going to do? This is the same argument they're having about those, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, is that China's already in production and we're so slow on the market. I mean, these things can be packed with any kind of code or any kind of malicious, that could be remotely activated at any point. This is why this is why Trump was fighting them about Huawei having anything to do with the 5G tech that was being installed globally for the same reason.
Yeah, man. My stance on cell phones. A crypto trading hamster performs better than Warren Buffett and the S&P 500.
Oh, yeah, buddy. This is the big story of the week.
That's right. Meet Mr. Gox, a hamster who works out of what is possibly the most high-tech hamster cage in existence. It's designed so that when Mr. Gox runs on the hamster wheel, he can select among dozens of cryptocurrencies. Then, deciding between the two tunnels, he chooses whether to buy or sell. According to the Twitch account for the hamster, his decision is sent over to real trading platform, and yes, real money is involved. Let's check him out.
Yeah, this is pretty epic.
Did they just send Mr. Gox up in a rocket?
Man, yeah, to the moon, man.
Music going to be a problem?
I was going to say you might want to mute it or something, but it's this freaking hamster is great. He's my hero, man. He spins the wheel and it just randomly.
We already let it go for 1 minute and 8 seconds. If they're going to get us for the music, it's already too late, man. So I don't know why I even bothered to mute it. You know, YouTube has taken down 4 or 5 of my videos in the last month.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
Oh, it's just reaching new levels of absurd, man. Like videos that don't even, like...
Old videos.
Like, what?
Right? Old videos.
Yeah. They're going through all my stuff.
The now patented run and poop. Like, he's even there.
I still don't fully understand, though. I don't fully understand how...
As the wheel spins, right, it cycles through different
and then it picks
potential
that
investments.
random, like Wheel of Fortune. Like, it picks...
Yes. Like when he stops, it lands on something. Then he runs through either the buy or the sell, and that's what they do it, right? And
he's channeling the divine, man.
Look, they built him a little desk.
Oh man, I would do that too. I would totally do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great, but
we have the music muted, guys, because who knows? He just grabbed his computer. Look at him.
Yeah, he's slammed.
Does he know how rich he is? Does he have any concept?
Right. I don't know. He's a genius trader, though. Look at him. Look at him go. I would trust that hamster.
Well, there it is, guys. So look, you just go and follow Mr. Gox on Twitch.
Right.
And you're going to win. You know what I mean? Apparently he's tuned in. He knows.
Right. But, and the video is saying he was down, but now as of today or whatever, he's up 20% on his portfolio.
Man.
I mean, he's outperforming Bitcoin, S&P 500. He outperformed Warren Buffett, like just total random hamster chaos.
You can get all your crypto trading advice from a hamster on Twitch. And you're you're bound to make out all right on that. You know
what a great year this
is. All right,
is.
this is the creepy robot, dude. This is terrible.
Oh my God. This is I didn't think something could be worse than Hans. Like, guys, we've talked about Hans, we've talked about Sophia and little Sophia. Now they have Ibuki, right? This is supposed to be like a 10-year-old boy, and I did not know this. Apparently
it winks and stuff.
Oh yes, but apparently the problem of loneliness in Japan is so bad that they actually made a government post called the Minister of Loneliness, and it is his job to figure out, yes, it's like that, how to resolve problems of loneliness with the Japanese people.
I don't want a creepy child robot to,
this was made as a man. Apparently the people that have been in this test or whatever, like these caretaker robots have actually reduced the loneliness factor for the people that have them. And I had pulled a video. We should play the video.
I want Tars. I'll take Tars. I don't want one of these dudes.
Tars is awesome.
Okay, I'll play the video. I'd roll with Tars though. Cool with that. He could be my sidekick.
This kid is programmed to like kind of move his head around, and he makes these little faces, even though they all look the same and they're terrifying. Yeah, I don't know, but it's definitely creeptastic, man.
Yeah, we gotta get us off the screen. Is there any sound on this or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't hear any. Unless, nope.
Well, that's, I don't know. I'm still seeing Mr. Gox at the moment. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, just look at how he moves. Right?
Oh, yeah, he's super creepy, dude. Big time.
There's no.
Oh, no. Oh,
I
no.
could have swore there was.
No.
Yeah,
look.
He'll hold your hand. And
I will
to the
talk to
store
the
with
alien
ya
spiders, but I am not dealing with this guy right here. Like, absolutely not.
Right? I'll be the robot ambassador, Alara. You
That's
just deal
fine.
with the spider people.
We can do that. That's fine, because I don't want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, that's creepy as shit, right?
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I'm totally straight. Totally straight on that.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Dude.
Though that's your government job, is you're the minister of loneliness.
They actually have a minister of loneliness.
Minister of loneliness in Japan.
I mean,
You
it's
know,
a
old people,
respectable
like,
job.
well,
you gotta.
No, it's a good. I mean, it's a well-meaning position. And listen, in the UK, I saw something similar where they were giving Alexis and other virtual assistants, and some of them had those like robots, not quite as advanced as these, but to give the old people. There are so many old people over there, and on average they would only, like, they would go weeks without any human interaction. This is from a study done in the UK. So they gave them these assistants, whatever, Dots and Echoes and Alexas and whatever, and their loneliness factor decreased in the United Kingdom. So I mean, it's not too far of a stretch to assume that giving people companion creepy.
Well, humans need to get out more is what really it boils down to. You know what I mean? They need to get, we need to get out more, all of us, and interact with other human beings. I remember when I used to do that on a daily basis in my life, and I don't anymore.
Know, right?
None of us do, and it's terribly unhealthy unless you're married to another human being, or you
right?
live with family, or you have kids. You just don't interact with other human beings except for online.
Well,
and that's terribly unhealthy.
When you get out here, we can do
that's right.
IRL things.
We're going to do all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm going to love the fact that that has been introduced into my life.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you right now.
There's a real person.
I know how unhealthy living like this is. And on that note, UFOs, guys.
Right.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Unidentified flying objects. Hi, Scott. Good to see you.
Hey.
All right. So, transparent object spiraling down in Brooklyn, 9/24/21. Let's check this out. Because we need.
Se ve. ¿Qué es eso?
Está grabando, ¿no?
Estoy
What is
grabando,
that?
sí. Pero es muy difícil
Can you
que
see
se
it?
vea.
Yeah.
Es que se mueve muy uniformemente, ¿no?
I don't know what it is or what it's
Algo
doing, but
está bajando, ¿no?
Tengo miedo de bajar allá abajo a buscar los binoculares que se van.
Yeah, it's something weird, dude.
Lo puse dentro de la maleta de viaje.
¿La maleta cuál?
La grande. Es decir, la grande que vamos a llevar. Vamos, pero está bajando. Puede que sea un
What do
globo.
you guys think it is?
yeah, it's just kind of.
I mean, I can't think of a natural explanation for it. Can you?
No, and I've watched it 4 or 5 times.
It looks like a puff of smoke that's spiraling or phasing in and out. I don't know. It's a trip, though. Is it gonna come back? Oh, it's still there. You can just barely see it. It's still coming down. I don't know. I wish it was zoomed in closer like you can.
I know.
Like, I don't think it could be a bird, though.
No, it was leaving a trail behind it at one point.
I don't know. Oh, still going. Look at that. It's right here now.
Right? You can see it against the
fact
gray
that
cloud
it's
better.
coming down in a consistent pattern, like a corkscrew pattern, though, it makes me think it could be, you know, because that's weird for a, but
Ya se
not
fue.
like I'm the resident
Porque
expert
bajó
on
y ya está por
UFO
debajo de la
technology.
Defuse. Bajó, yo creo que tiene que ser.
All right,
Que no
so
se ve bien, ¿no?
okay, let's go ahead and check out the next one. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that one. That one's pretty bizarre, guys. I don't know what to think of that one. All right, let's see. What do we got now? We got, so these lights were over Nashville last night. What do you guys think? What are they? Let's check this out.
Roxy Boxy says, I heard most people don't look up in the sky. How true do
don't.
you all believe this claim is? I
It's
look
true.
up all the time, but I think most people probably don't.
No.
They're busy looking down at their
I do, but I could
freaking
promise
phones
you
now.
that before I had a contact experience, I didn't look at the sky at all. I look at it constantly now. That's all I do is look at the, whenever I walk outside, I'm always, I mean,
look up. Yeah.
I look constantly, you know what I mean? And so is the reason that I've had more interactions and seen more things is because I'm constantly looking at the sky now, or is
Paying
it because
attention
it's
now?
increased? I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of the two. I don't know. But yeah, most people are not paying attention because they're not, I don't know. We could go down a whole rabbit hole why that is. Why? Well, no, it's the phones, but I mean,
yeah.
The only people looking up are the people that are consciously aware that there could be something there, and they're more curious in what could be up there than they are on their phone. Which,
What movie or show was it that was like, you know, people consider themselves to be like the apex predator, and so we never look up.
Right.
You know, things that are concerned about something coming down, look up. And we weren't really programmed that way.
The inspector makes fun of me because, look, the inspector makes fun of me because I don't like to go I like to walk out here, right? But I don't like to go when it's really late and dark out there. You know what I mean? And
right.
I've tried to explain, but try explaining that to somebody who doesn't believe or know about, you know, like, yeah, but I don't think it's a good idea to walk out there. Well, why is that? Well, why do you think that? Well, because there's stuff out here. You know what I mean? Oh, there's no people out here. I'm not necessarily talking about people, bruh. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I mean, there could be
like
people,
there could be those too, right? But there's all kinds of other things in this general area that, you know, with nefarious intent that aren't entirely, you know, but try explaining this to somebody who ain't trying to hear it. Like, they're like, what? You know what I mean? You just don't. Yeah, it's the, you know, it's the people. You're right. I'm afraid of the people out here.
Man, I bet.
Yeah, that's a rough one there, dude. Anyway, okay, next UFO video. Yeah. Okay. It's like, I'll bring a gun. Well, that'll work out if it's people. But if
you can shoot at it, but if you can't
know.
shoot at it, then what, right?
Right, then it might be a problem. You know what I mean? So...
What the...
That's kind of crazy. That was over Nashville, right? Is where's Woke? Are you still in the chat? Woke Societies?
What was the date on it?
This was like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the city though. Let's look at the date.
Oh.
And I'm sure he would have said something if he saw something like that. He would have said something. He probably could have got it on tape.
This was a recent...
It doesn't have a date though. Look, there's no date on it. It just says Nashville last night. What do you think? But there's no date on it.
How many hours ago does it say it was posted?
1 day ago.
Yeah, because it was. I remember when I looked at it, it was really recent.
But it's in the city. It looks like. Well, let's play that one more time. We do have our space weather update today, guys. Alexis is back.
What the...
Yeah,
Scott.
Yeah,
Woke is still here.
That looks like some Phoenix Light stuff right there, dude. Was that right over the city a couple nights ago?
Yeah, apparently. Oh, he is close to downtown, he says. Did you see this?
Did you hear anybody talk about this? Huh.
That is wild.
Yeah, man. That looks like a Phoenix. I wish we'd have another episode like that, dude. That would be so cool, right? But I don't know. It seems like the whole...
in 5 years, they'd have brainwashed everybody to forget it.
Right, fireball, right? Pretty much, right? That's just, yeah. Bright fireball like sighting in New York City tonight. This was 2 days ago. Any ideas what this could be?
Oh, I thought you were reading somebody's comment. I was going to say, I think I pulled that video.
Yeah, Scott didn't hear anything about this, and he's in that area. Also, I think Brooke Van Horn is here. Brookie lives in Nashville. Did you hear anything about it, Brookie? That there's an orb.
That
there's an orb, man.
Right.
Look at it. It's powering up. All right, let's see. What else do we have before we move on to space weather? Let's see. We have UFO sightings daily. UFO fleet during storm over Montpellier, France. September 16, 2021. Shout out to Scott at UFO sightings daily. Let's check this out. This is supposed to be the beginning. There's no timestamp on this, right? This is.
Yeah, you can just push play, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, this is weird, for sure.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I'd be kind of tripped out if I saw that.
Kind of. Thanks, EO2 Dave, for the phone.
Like,
EO2 Dave says,
what?
Hold on. Humans' eyes can only see 36% of the light spectrum. We can't see 99% of what's going on around us.
So it looks like they're all They're all separate. They're all separate vehicles. And it looks like they meet up and then they break back apart.
I don't know. It could be lights around the bottom of something, though. In some kind of a...
It could. I'm trying to... I mean...
Like around a big round craft,
what do you guys
maybe?
think?
I don't know. But I mean, either way, like, you look up and see that, something's there.
That's wild. Nothing was crazier than the Norway spiral, though. Dude, I remember when that happened. I was all tripped out at the time, and I was a sleeper, and I was really in that negative timeline, dude, that apocalyptic timeline at the time. And I remember, like, that was when all the stuff with Japan, the earthquake, and the blue lights, and all the weird, crazy stuff was going on. And then when I saw that Norway spiral, I was like, oh, that... And I was asleep back then. I didn't know those were portals, or that we had that kind of tech to just open gates in front of people, or, like, I was clueless about that stuff. When I saw that, I was like,
we talked about it. Don't you remember? I found out that was the same day that the triangular craft was seen over the Kremlin. That the Norway spiral
That was
happened.
the same day?
The same day.
Oh, well, that throws a whole new spin on the whole situation.
Doesn't it? Right? I just found that out. I don't know. Maybe I thought we talked about it here.
What
maybe
did Brookie say? Did Brookie see anything in Nashville? Scott said he's going to ask around. Will you ask around too, Brookie? See if anybody got any more footage or saw anything that night.
Right.
All right. So I don't want to go. We're at 54 right now. I don't want to go into, the two things that we had previously discussed, Foil. So let me see. Black object over Buffalo, New York, August 25th, 2021. Coming to you from Scott at UFO Sightings Daily. I think we're going to play that one and possibly one more and then move to space weather, guys. Yeah, and Space Force, anytime you want to give me some new footage, feel free. I could use some. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the cookie,
Be nice to get some original stuff.
What are you crying about?
Where's the black object?
Oh,
there it is. Oh, there it comes. There it comes. See it? Right here.
Yep.
Here it comes. Is this somebody's doorbell cam or what? Oh, look at that.
I don't remember.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, buddy. Doing something.
What in the high strangeness is that? It looks like it's out of control. It's like, I can't get the lights on, Chuck. I can't get the lights on. Grab the wheel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, and that's it. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Is there more footage of it?
Well, we got another angle.
Is it going to come back? Oh.
Maybe.
Is it going to come back? No, we're just going to...
Just chilling. We're just chilling.
Just going to watch this. Oh, there it comes.
Oh, look at that. What is it doing?
What is it doing? Why does it seem like it's a not coaster? It looks like it's spinning out of control, kind of. Almost
sure
like
did.
it's a ship that got like shot or something and it's falling to the ground.
That is wild.
I mean, I am kind of rampantly speculating here and elaborating quite a bit on what I'm
we
seeing.
love to rampantly
But
speculate.
like that
though.
makes more sense to me, the way that it's flying and the fact
Look
that
at
it's
that.
got like one light. You know, I don't know. Maybe
maybe the driver is
possibility.
drunk. Maybe the alien is just shit-faced.
hammered. Can't get the
like,
lights on. Can't steer the thing right.
right?
It's real.
Like,
It's a
he's
real
just
problem.
tumbling. Like,
Right?
yay!
It's a real problem.
That is crazy, though.
All right, guys. And on that note, let's move into space weather with Alexis from Ascension Diaries.
Woohoo!
Right? Or do we have one more video?
I don't remember.
No, we don't. That was it. All right. Where's my space weather? Here we go.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday, September 26th. It is 3:04 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My name is Alexis of AscensionDiaries.com and I'm here to bring you a space weather update. Let's talk about the moon first. It's currently in the sign of Gemini with a waning gibbous luminosity. Our last full moon was on Monday the 20th in the sign of Pisces. Following that full moon, we had a minor geomagnetic storm show up on the 22nd. Then on the 23rd, the sun decided to add more information to the party and hit us with an M-class solar flare and a few others, it looks like, following that into the 24th as it is gradually reduced in intensity. We're also seeing a little bit of data missing from this X-ray radiation, so there may be more I'm not seeing. And what I'm seeing coming for us off the sun in the near future is more potential for some solar flares, but not as promising as the previous sunspots were. We will see. This is solar cycle 25. We are in the very active years of our solar disk. So these sunspots are very common right now and they are expected. What we are enjoying witnessing though is the responses of the Earth's magnetosphere and the Earth's ionosphere and the atmospheric cavity and all the electronics and electricity and the lightning that occurs in this time. That's what I really love to look at too. And this Russian chart indeed is also measuring 0 to 40 hertz and how amplified it gets. In Italy, they're measuring 0 to 16,000 hertz and seeing how much it's getting amplified on a daily basis. And over the last 24 hours, we're seeing that all of those frequencies from 0 to about 16,000 at least have been amplified over average. So there is quite an electrified field, it seems like, in the cavity where lightning begins striking the Earth. So let's see quickly. 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today, at least in the Russian chart, and also these swoopy doodles over here, very rare, don't know what they are, but this big blast right here hit an amplitude of 80 at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the primary Schumann resonance, and basically the entire cavity of 0 to at least 0 to 100 hertz was being amplified around that time as well. But that episode, all of that electricity seems to have dissipated and has calmed down over the last 24 hours here, the last 12 hours. We're getting into calmer conditions. Tucson, Arizona is rumbling, is also getting hit with a lot of lightning, as well as this area in Europe and into the Caribbean. If you want any of my links, go to my link tree, Space Weather links, they'll all be in here. And thank you again for signing up on my Patreon and helping me do these reports every week. Much appreciated.
Big thank you to Alexis from Ascension Diaries. She will not be having a stream tonight. Normally she does a stream right after the show, but she will not be having her stream tonight. So, yeah, I want to let you guys know I let the lemons out. I let the scratching out over on Foxhole and over on D Live. So you guys should be able to pick that up now. Let's see. As far as next shows go, Conspiracy Couch will be on tomorrow. That's from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Right here on this channel, we will be talking about psychic abilities. So that was originally supposed to be last week, but we ended up having to cancel. So that show will be going on tomorrow. That's going to be a fun show. So definitely come and check that out. Also, tomorrow is the opening show for bodaciously based Are we babes or broads? I think we're broads.
Broad squad.
Sean named us broads. So we're the bodaciously based broad squad. That will be our opening show. That will be on Amy Jo's channel on the Foxhole and Pilled.net. It'll be me and Loyal to the Foil, Suki, and Amy Jo. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be discussing some cool stuff tomorrow.
Right. So if you're watching on DLive or YouTube, go make a Pilled.net account and come hang out.
That will be 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So we will be doing the couch from 2 to 4 right here, guys. Psychic abilities, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So basically a half hour after the show ends, we will be shooting over to Amy Jo's channel to have our BBB epic opening show. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to hanging with my girls. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
And let's see what else. I think that's
Tuesday,
it. Big thank you.
At 9.
Oh yeah, your stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
Right? Tuesday at 9 on my channel, I'm going to be talking about the Chinese doctrine of unrestricted warfare. So come get your learn on. 9 p.m. Eastern on Loyal to the Foil.
Yeah, if you haven't seen one of Foil's educational videos, definitely go and see that. Her educational videos are the bomb, diggity. Well, everything you do is awesome.
Thanks.
But yeah, especially your educational videos. Do you have your Friday show going off too, or what?
Oh yeah, Friday Conspiracy Theory Trivia,
right,
of course,
cool.
with Tylena Koala.
Cool. Let's see. Big thank you to the mods. Really appreciate you guys so much. All the people that super chatted and donated gold pills. We really, really appreciate you. Yeah.
Right. What else? Oh, we might as well ask, guys. Do you like our new format? Give us a one in the chat if you like. Yeah, if you like this, if you like how we have this now, where Alara and I can have more discussions on things and we're both covering topics. Give us a one if you're a fan of that.
Yeah, okay, guys. For those who don't know, I have a Telegram channel. If you look up Alara of Sirius channel, the mods are really good about posting it in the chats. But Alara of Sirius channel, if you go and subscribe over there, I do have a chat. It's called the 1 Foot in 5D Cosmic Cafe. It's a private link, but I do post it here every once in a while that you can join it. So we would love input from you guys about the Space Force news, because we're trying to change things, the formatting. I mean, we really would love your guys' input. And I can't really think of a better way for you guys to give me input, other than those of you who are already in touch with me on Discord, than to go into my chat and drop comments about it. In fact, I could just put it on, I could just make a post about it, Foil, and then people can drop their comments in there.
There you go.
That way they don't have to be in the cafe in order to drop comments. So yeah, I'll make a post over on Telegram and then about it, and then you guys can drop your comments on there about what you liked about the different formatting, the fact that we're going back and forth with the different topics and sharing the articles, the fact that we've kind of toned back on things that we think are less important, keeping it more focused on science. Of course, as really interesting disclosure stuff comes out, of course that's going to take front and center. Same thing with Space Force. But because there's kind of a dull point going on with that stuff right now, and a lot of uncertainty, we're kind of focusing more on the science, the technology, and that sort of stuff.
And defense.
So we're just and defense, which is pretty important right now. We're just planning on keeping it fluid like that, guys. Just kind of depending on what's taking more importance at the moment, what people really need to be educated on, and what's going on. And we were thinking about maybe in the disclosure section, if we don't have any breaking news that's going on with disclosure, right? Perhaps having like whistleblower testimony about various topics involving you know, the SSPs, so forth like that, mixing that into the disclosure section and playing stuff like that, short clips of stuff like that as a replacement for disclosure news that, you know, may not be available at that point in time. So yeah, let us know what you think, guys. I'll make that post on Telegram, or if you're, again, you follow me over on Facebook, that would be another good place, or on Gab, but I'll make a post on Telegram. That's the main place where I'm at. And you guys can give me your input. We would really love to have your input and continue to keep this show great and fluid. So yeah, big thank you to the mods. Once again, I think I already said thank you to everybody who donated and who supports the show. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. Thank you so much. And on that note, Foil.
Yeah, guys, you know what to do. Like, share the link out. Subscribe if you're watching and you haven't subscribed. We need you. We love you. We thank you. You can donate directly to Space Force News at the Cash App and the Venmo, which are listed in the description below. Yes, good call.
Right.
Yeah, you can donate directly there. Also, like I said, go make the Pilled.net account. come hang out on the Foxhole or go over to Rockfin, make the free account, follow us both over there. We love to have you guys across these different platforms with us. And we'll be back here next Sunday, of course, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another awesome episode of Space Force News Live. Until then, you know what to do. Keep your eyes on the skies and stay loyal.
We are your news in this dimension and the next. Good night, Space Patriots. We'll see you next Sunday.